Hi everyone, Tochi here again for today's class, and we're going to talk about the spiritual law and the power of silence. Before I get into today's class, please take some time to subscribe to my channel. Click the like button for the material, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll know when my next video will be out. Okay, so the power of silence. Some of us talk too much. And that's putting it simply. But we don't realize what it costs us to talk too much. When we share our dreams and our aspirations with the wrong people, their attitudes and their psychic energy can drain those dreams from manifesting. And that is the reason why when you tell certain people about your dreams and your aspirations, those dreams never come to pass. When you tell them about your goals and your plans, they never come to pass. So we should learn how to remain silent about the important things in our lives. Some of us find it hard not to talk. Okay? Many of us find it easy to talk. Me personally, I'm a talker. I can talk all day. Okay? But even for me, I had to learn the power of silence, especially when it came to my goals and my plans and my dreams. Okay? Now, it is a spiritual law because things are formed in the darkness. Things are formed in the darkness. And that is why there are several important spiritual practices and rituals that are done in the middle of the night. Okay? There are some prayers that are done in the middle of the night. And the reason why they're done in the middle of the night is because they need the secrecy, the cloak of darkness, in order to incubate that prayer, that invocation, that practice, that ritual, in order for it to manifest. Let me explain this principle in plain terms. If you have a seed and you want to plant the seed, do you put that seed in a cup and just add water to it and walk away? Chances are that's not what you do when you want to plant a seed. When you want to plant a seed, you put it in the earth. You put it in some soil. Now, when you sow that seed and you plant that seed inside soil, it is in darkness. It is in darkness. There's no light in there. And and there's no light, no sound, there's nothing to disturb it there. If you put a seed into soil and you say you want to plant that seed, and every day you go dig it up, oh, let me see, is my seed growing? Is it doing anything? That seed will not grow. You already know this. That is the same principle that happens with the seeds of our hearts, the seeds of our dreams, and the seeds of our goals. We plant them in the darkness of the spirit so that they can quietly start germinating and then come out. Just like the seed germinates and it comes above ground by itself. If you go ask any farmer that knows what they're doing, there's no farmer that goes there every day and says, well, I'm going to help my seed grow. Let me, okay, I know I put the seed in the soil. Let me reposition it, or let me dig around it, or let me poke at it to help the seed grow. No. They dig the ground, put the seed, cover it up, and walk away. They may water it from time to time if rain doesn't fall, but they leave that seed alone in the soil until it grows and germinates and comes out by itself above ground. And that's how it's supposed to be with our dreams and aspirations. We should learn how to sow the seeds of our dreams in silence and let them bloom and manifest of their own accord in their own time. And I know for many of us, this is a very difficult thing to do. We're used to talking. We're used to noise around us. Some people can't sleep without the TV. They can't be in a house without the TV going or radio going or music going. They cannot be in silence by themselves. It drives them crazy. But a lot of productivity, there is a lot of power in silence. You don't have to go everywhere telling everybody about what you're planning to do. Now, if you have a prayer partner, or you have a life partner, or a member of your family or close friend who is in agreement with you about that thing, then you can tell that person, because you know that both of you are focusing on that seed to grow. So they can pray with you, they can hold the space for you, they can challenge you and say, are you saving money to buy that house? Are you putting aside money to buy that house? And you know that they're not mocking you, they're not laughing at you, and they're not draining the energy away from your dreams. But when you go and tell somebody, well, I'm going to do this, and the people start laughing at you, even their mockery, their mocking laughter is pulling away from the energy of manifestation. You have to work so much more harder to make that dream come to pass than if you had remained silent. When you remain silent, you use less energy, less spiritual energy, less mental energy to bring your goals to pass, compared to when you have to fight above the disbelief and doubts and the laughter and the mocking of others in order to bring your dreams to pass. There is a lot of power in silence. There is a lot of things that happen in silence. And like I mentioned earlier, that is why some of the most powerful prayers are prayed in the middle of the night, between the hours of midnight to 4 a.m. in the morning. You will find a lot of spiritual practitioners doing most of their powerful work during those hours of the night. When you look at your Bible or your Quran or your other scripture, you will find that the founders of those religions and the followers of or disciples of that religion or that religious leader, they did a lot of work at night. They did a lot of praying at night, a lot of invocations, meditations at night. I mean, I'm reminded of just a quick example. When we talk about Jesus used to get his crew, and they would go out to the middle of the sea in the night. In the night. And you can read any of the first four Gospels, the first four books in the New Testament to find out for yourself. They would go out at night. You see them. Jesus said to them, come on, let's get into the boat. And they get into the boat and they were out there in the middle of the night. There was a lot of stuff they were out there doing in the middle of the night. When you watch movies or documentaries about indigenous traditional religions, you will find there is a lot they do at night. They offer sacrifices at night. They go to talk to the spirits at night. They make invocations at night. They have their meetings at night. And the fact that these things are going on at night is a spiritual principle. I know sometimes we may look at this and say, oh, it's only evil people that get together at night. That's not true. The cover of night is used to manifest things. The cover of night, the darkness of night, is used to manifest things, whether those things are good or evil. The darkness of night is used to manifest a lot of things. Now, we can also use daylight and sunlight to do a number of things. But in the sunlight is used more for delivering of messages. Sunlight is used for communication. I want to reach you, I use the sun. I want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to a spirit. I want to speak to a spirit guide. I want to bring a spirit guide to me, or I want to go to a spirit guide. We use the sun. But when we want to start something, to build something, we do it at night. And night, in a spiritual sense, represents silence. It represents silence. So, my dear viewers, I want us to think about that. In what areas of our lives have we been talking more than we need to? In what areas of our lives have we spoken so much that we lost what we're hoping for? We wanted to get married or have children or start a new business, go back to school, get a degree, find another way of making money, and we went and talked 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 until that thing no longer came to pass. I also want to mention that not everybody we're talking to are at the same spiritual level as we are. Some are more spiritually powerful and some are less. This is the way the world is. There's nothing we can do about it. Some people are more spiritually powerful than others. Imagine that you are going to tell your hopes and dreams to someone who is more spiritually powerful than you, and they don't want those dreams to come to pass. Think about that. There's a young woman that I know, and she's a very devout Catholic. It just happens, and I'm just going to summarize this because I think this could be a video for another time. I don't know if she's aware that she's an incarnation of a powerful spirit guide. She has a powerful spirit guide living within her. But she's a devout Catholic. Every morning, 6:30 a.m., she's out there in the church for Mass. But do you know why this is an issue for her? That deity, that spiritual guide that dwells in her it's a family deity. It's a family spirit. And the function of that spirit is for justice, revenge and justice. And back in the old days, people in her community would go to her family. This was well before she was born. They would go to her family if they were wronged by someone else. And they would offer sacrifices. Her family members or relatives back then were the custodians of this deity. And people who were aggrieved would go to this family to offer sacrifices and demand revenge or retribution against those who had wronged them. And if they were correct, that retribution would be wreaked upon the offenders. So fast forward to the 20th and 21st century. This lady is an embodiment of this deity and she doesn't know. But what are the repercussions of this? If you go to this lady and tell her what you're planning to do, if she's not happy about it, it would not come to pass. And the other problem with it too was, if you were her friend, it was a problem. If you were not her friend, it was a problem. So whether you were friendly with her or not, it was always a problem. Because if she got upset with you for any reason, you would have problems in your life. And I know this personally because twice, I showed her my place of work. And something happened. I think there was something she wanted me to do for her and I didn't do it. I lost my job within the month. One of them, I had been working there for 3 years. And the funny thing is that she doesn't even know she has that power. she doesn't even know. So now I use that as an example to illustrate. You don't know who has what, who is carrying what spiritual power or level people have. So you can't just assume you can go and tell anything to anybody. I mean, this woman I'm telling you about, she was so spiritually powerful, I don't even know if she was aware of it. She had people die on her. She didn't kill them directly, physically. But for those men who didn't do what she wanted, or for men who didn't treat her well, they always came to a very sad end. Some died, some got disabled, all kinds of things. But she would be the first to run out to take care of you, pray for you, feed you, cook for you, do all these good things. But she is unaware of the kind of spirit that she was carrying and what to do to placate this spirit. And because of the activity of this deity in her life, she herself was also meeting with a lot of misfortune. Because once people started figuring out that every time she was around, there were issues, there were problems, they started running away from her. Even I eventually ran away from her until I learned how to communicate with those kind of people that have that kind of spiritual power. But every time I told her what I was trying to do, in fact, if I had a job interview, told her, she would say, "Oh, God will help you. I'll pray for you. I'll go to mass." I'd never get that job. Never. It even got to the point that when I realized that there was something going on, this was before I knew the details, but when I realized there was something going on with her, I stopped telling her stuff. On the eve of whatever important I was trying to do, she would call me. It became that scary. She would call me and say, "What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you planning?" And without fail, whatever, as long as I spoke to her, whether it was in person or over the phone, it would fail. Even if I didn't tell her the details, the fact that she could connect with me, it would fail. And again, this woman's the sweetest person you could ever think of. Very homely, very helpful, very loving. So again, let us understand and respect the power of silence and what it can do for us in our lives. If you have any questions or comments, please put them at the bottom of this video. I would appreciate it if you subscribe, click the notifications, and give me a thumbs up for the content of this video. It serves as encouragement for me to produce more and to share more. Remember again, even though this is my little class with you, I am still a student as yourself. May the creator of all worlds and all universes and all souls be kind to you, help you, and assist you. May your guardian spirit and your ancestors never abandon you. May they always surround you with love and protection. And so it is.